Okay, today is July 31st, 2025, and this is the next update to the pepper series. So everything is looking great. Up to this point, it's gotten really hot now, and so the plants are kind of struggling outside, but the indoor plants are looking great. So let me show you what's going on here. You see some of these bags and tags here. I'm crossing these together. Crossing plants indoor is like the best thing to do because it's controlled and it's easy and you get really good success rates. And so this one here is a Niwaki, which is one of the white tie cross with multiple other things. And then this is the chocolate Primotalii. And these are Chinense varieties. This one here, Annuum, sorta. And so they're not supposed to be compatible, but I've done it before and it worked just great. So what you do is you take the pollen from the Chinense and you put it onto the Annuum. That tend to work the best. If you do the reverse, it may work. I've done it, but the success rate is very low. And then when you get seeds, they're typically not viable, and so you have to get like a ton of pods to get, a few that may grow out. But in this way here, it does a better job, but still you get a lot less seeds because of the incompatibility, but it still works. And so see, I have multiple crosses going on right now. And then here's another thing I want to show you guys. You see my graft works great. Look at this. This here is a Gochu pepper, and you see it's growing on the Promotalii plant because I grafted it right there. And so I have now two different type of peppers on one plant. So you see? And I've harvested a few pods and I've used it. Man, these things are really spicy, guys. And look at these. These are ridiculous looking pods. They're really wrinkly chocolate. And they taste really good too. They're nice and sweet. Doesn't have, that's the bitterness to it. So it's a really nice variety to grow. But man, the heat is ridiculous. Look at this. And so this plant is looking great. And then I'm planning on doing more grafts. So I'll get multiple other varieties onto here. I might have to take a few from outside. But just a forewarning, if you take things from outside, make sure you quarantine, wash it off, rinse it, do all that stuff before you bring it inside, because you could introduce, the bad bugs outside in here, and that will become a huge problem. So be careful with that. Okay, so the Niwaki here, I love this variety. It grows in cluster. It's a red variety. That's what I've been growing. So sometimes it could turn out to be something else, but so far its cluster is red and they produce beautiful pods that are really good and really super spicy. And then here is another variety here that this is actually the Gochu, the original parent plant. You see, this is where I cut off, and look how small this plant is. And the cut off piece has grown to be really huge on here. And so if you have a big plant, you cut off the piece, you graft it on, it becomes, it gets more energy, it grows really big. And so look at this, there's lots of pods, lots of flowers. There's multiple pods like this on here. But the original plant here is the Gochu, and then on top is the Primotalii. And so it does struggle, the grafts struggle to grow unless you cut the original plant off, which I did, and it started to grow back. So it may slow this down, and if it does slow this down, I'll just cut a few more and let the energy focus on here. So other propagation I have going on. And here is the death spiral that I started. So if you go back to the last video or the video before, this plant is really small, and now it's starting to flower. And so it's gotten a lot bigger and grown very, very well. Okay, so let's go outside and we'll see the rest. Okay, here we are outside. So we'll start with the chocolate Promotalii that I'm growing in a trash bin compost system. And this plant is looking great. So I transplant this guy from hydroponic. See, there's flowers coming out right here. And there's a lot of hope for this one here. I think it's going to grow great. and produce very, very well. And these are extra plants here that I started just in case. Death Spiral here. And what is this here? Sometimes I forget the label. Niwaki, which is the one that we just saw inside. This is my volunteer here. I love these volunteers because sometimes they just grow on, you know, just randomly everywhere, but they produce very, very well. And yeah, I just love volunteers. They're usually the strong ones. And here we have a few more not volunteer, but I grew this as backup. These are white ties here. And I'm not sure what this one is. Let me see if I can find the label for that. Lemon StarrBurst. So this is a Lemon StarrBurst here. These are white ties that I grow as backup. And look at this. Okay, so here are two plants that's been here for a while. Man, it is hot, guys. 98 degrees Fahrenheit. It was 101 earlier. So it's dropping down in the late afternoon. And so here, this is my Super Pequin. And we had a last round of pods, but the birds ate them. You know, birds, they love peppers, but they only love the ones that are bite-sized. And the Super Pequins are practically bite-sized, just enough for the birds to eat. And so they usually come by when it's red and snatch this up. So sometimes I have to protect these just to get enough to save for myself. And this is the StarrGazer, and this one has been producing consistently throughout the past few months, and I've been using the pods. They're great, nice and spicy, very flavorful, sweet, very aromatic. It's a great looking plant. And here is a Gochu pepper right here. It's struggling like crazy because it's so hot right now, guys. It's ridiculous. I'm burning up right now just walking around. And here is a raised bed with Lemon StarrBurst. This is the Jay's Peach Goes crossed with a Primo, crossed with a Leviethan that I got from my friend on Pepper Lovers. These were supposed to be red, but the one I'm growing here turns out to be orange or peach, and they look awesome, guys. Look at this. Great looking pods. They look dangerous. Very productive. See all those pods there? It's struggling like crazy right now under this almost 100 degrees Fahrenheit dry heat. So I need to give them a little bit water soon just to cool them down. See, the white tie is just like struggling in this heat. You see how it's kind of drooping? And my Lemon StarrBurst is the same. It's just drooping like crazy. Lemon StarrBurst are a very interesting variety. They produce pods like this. Like, you know, it's like at the top you don't see the pods. They all kind of cluster down right here. Same with that one over there. See how it's struggling and drooping. Leaves are like not doing good right now because it's so hot. My basil are just doing amazing, guys. If you are looking to grow basil that look like this, the best thing to do is propagate the basil, remove all the flowers, and give it fish fertilizer. Man, they grow like weeds. Look at this. These are like 4 feet tall with lots and lots of leaves. Okay, next raised bed we have habanero, which I picked the pods off already. These here struggling. My ghosts, look at that. You see how the leaves are drooping? It's just so darn hot. And then white ties right there. So these things need a little bit of water. And here is the Peach StarrKist. And it does have a few pods already. So let me take a look and show you. Here it is right here. Just the cousin of the Lemon StarrBurst. So it looks exactly the same, just a different color. These are beautiful. Okay, got some white tie cross here. These are volunteer. Same with this here. It's also a volunteer. This plant has given me so many pods I've been using for the last few months. I just use 1 or 2 a day, and it's just one plant of this is enough for me. Here's another volunteer it's coming out. This one here, I think it's this is extra chocolate Promotalii, I think. Just extra, just in case I lost the other plants. And this is the KhangSta Yellow. Finally starting to put out flowers, but it's struggling a little bit with this heat, and so a lot of the flowers are falling off. So once this cooled down a little bit, this thing is gonna go crazy. Okay, next we have my KhangSta white tie, and man, these things are just gorgeous. And man, they're very, very spicy this year. So this is a huge hit amongst my family and friends. These are just wonderful peppers, and we use them pretty much on almost everything. Daily use, just to eat with food and stuff like that. It's great in pho. If you ever had it, just, you know, just put a few of these in there. They're just amazing. And then here I put another white tie right there because I love these plants, and so they're starting to produce right there. Same with this one here, starting to produce here. Love these white ties. And this one here, what is this? Oh yeah, this is my other cross. This is I call this the StarrFlower, KhangSta StarrFlower. These are great variety. They're really skinny and pretty spicy. They pack a punch. So I love these things. And this one here is the Jay's Peach Goes crossed with a Primo. It's the same as the other one that you just saw, the orange one. And I'm not sure if this one's gonna turn out orange or not, or peach. And then I have more white ties here. This is the Hornet that I'm trying to revive so I can cross this with a the death spiral that I have inside. So far so good. Look at that. It's coming back to life. And finally I have some white ties here and here. And then I decided to put one in the ground here. So that is pretty much for the peppers. Everything's doing great. We just needed to cool down a little bit and these guys will take off. But that's the update for now. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.